This is a box of tricks from Freewell that you really need in your camera bag. Yo, what's the story? The big problem when you're shooting videos or taking photos is you gotta drag SD cards with you. Then you're probably going to need an SD card reader with you if you're traveling, and all of that is extra gear. Or maybe you just kind of wing it and go, I'll just leave the SD card in the camera, and then you need more space and you can't dump it because, yeah. This is the Freewell Pro Reader. Not only will this hold your SD cards, it'll hold your microSD cards, it'll do Nano SIMs. I don't know anybody who carries around Nano SIMs, but if you're somebody who carries around a few Nano SIMs for whatever you're doing, let us know in the comments why you would carry around a whole bunch of Nano SIMs. It'll also do CF Express A and B, plus the actual card reader section of this, which, by the way, we're going to see, is this really going to be slow? I mean, look, it's all of this in one. It's got to be slow, right? This can do CF Express B and A. It'll read your SD cards, UHS 1 and UHS 2, and it'll also read your micro SD cards. So, why the heck would you need one of these? Well, something like this can take the headache out of traveling. Recently, we were on a family glamping trip. I had the Osmo Pocket 3 with me. I had the Sony ZV-E1, a bag of lenses, and I had an SD card in each camera and some spare SD cards. Everything lived in this. Now, I didn't want to bring a laptop because a laptop is too heavy to be dragging around on a family trip. So I had this in my actual bag and all the SD cards and that. No laptop, but I had an iPad, so I was able to plug this directly into the iPad and edit some photos from this. And not only did that allow me to dump all of the footage and photos off the SD cards onto the iPad, that meant I had fresh SD cards that I could format in camera again and use to my heart's content, except it rained. It didn't stop raining. But that's another story. Here's the thing, right? Build quality, and we're going to get into a speed test in this in a second, because let's face it, if this thing isn't fast at transferring your footage, what's the point, right? It's just a fancy box. So this is metal. It slides out, okay? In here we have our USB-C cable, all very, very nice, and it slots in and it's nice and tight inside there, and there's a little channel for the cable. On the back we have that little ejector pin, which is really useful. You should always have some of those. Bonus tip for ejector pins: if you drink a lot of takeaway coffee, use one of these to puncture the holes in the plastic lid in the coffee. Thank me later. You get a little carabiner that you can put on here, and that can hang onto your bag, or no, let's not do it in the ear. Or you can hang it on a hook in the inside of the bag or wherever, so it doesn't be like floshing around the place. Floshing? We've invented a new word. Floshing. Sloshing and build quality is what I'm on about, because I bought one of these. It's by PJ Whitetech, who I think were the first out many moons ago, and I bought this last August in New York. This was fairly pricey. Now, these things seem the exact same, right? Look, we've got the SD card holders, we've got the memory card reader. That, now, to be fair, on this one, it's SD card and it's just TF card or your micro SD. That's it. So you've got two card readers. This has a whole bunch more. The one thing I do like about this one more, though, is this just stays in. Now, yes, you can take off this sleeve, which gives it a little bit more protection and stops it getting scuffed up. While this obviously is metal, so it's going to scratch up eventually. The only thing I don't really like is just it comes out. Now, why is that a big deal? It's not really a big deal. I'm just being picky. Let's test the speed of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a micro SD card, which are notoriously slow cards anyway. I'm going to dump a whole load of footage from the Osmo Pocket 3 via this, plugged in directly into the computer, but I'm also going to do it from the Osmo Pocket 3 itself, plugging in the Osmo Pocket 3 to the computer and just copying all the files across, and we'll see how fast or slow this is. Surely this thing has to be faster than the Osmo Pocket 3 direct. It's saying about 5 minutes for 46 odd gigs. This is all from Osmo Pocket 3 footage, so we've got some big files in there, and so far we are like, yeah, only like 50 seconds in, 4 minutes left. We've nearly done 10 gigs in less than a minute. It is pretty fast, and it is USB-C. There is some of you out there who may not have a free USB-C port on your computer, or you mightn't even have a USB-C port. You've got an external SSD drive in there or whatever, right? Not everybody has one. However, if you've just got a USB 3, USB-A, the normal kind of square rectangular USB port, Freewell got you hooked up because they have this 10G, this 10 gig adapter, USB-C to normal USB-C. So plug this into your USB 3 port and you are good. Really fast, good. Now that I'm kind of thinking about it, we probably should have just, you know, did a 1 gig file, but this is the real world. People are dumping entire SD cards, not just like one file for the best part. So we're still going. I'm actually dreading doing the Osmo Pocket 3 because I know it's just going to take 6 months. But you never know. It might be okay. USB-C, yeah, it might be okay. 647. Gotta say, this little card is absolutely hot. All right, let's get this in. I forgot I have no nails. And of course, it's the Osmo Pocket 3 because that means we plug stuff in. Can't get it in. No nail. Oh. Pry tool gets it in. Here we go. All right, we've done 22 gigs and there's 11 minutes left, so 22 gigs in 10 minutes, and that's directly from the Osmo Pocket 3, which is what a lot of folks might be doing, or you might be plugging it into your mirrorless camera or GoPro, whatever you got, right? Okay, gotta say, it's super fast. It's well built. It's hard. It's going to, you know, take a fall, and obviously your cards are going to be protected. I think the PJ Tech one, simply because of this skin, might be slightly more shock absorbent, but we are talking like a millimeter of rubber. Plus, yeah, that looks a bit more awkward going through an airport. Either way though, both of these are good devices. I guess it depends on your needs. I know there's a more updated version of this, which is a bit more expensive. It's got more card reader ports and stuff like that. Whether you go for something like this or some other brand, because suddenly we have lots of these types of card readers. It's really useful though. It's clever. The design is clever. It's going to hold your cards. And the one thing I would say with all of these SD card readers, they're disciplined. Okay, so put your cards away every time you use them, then you'll never lose them. Use or lose, and that's it. So with this, you can stop carrying loads of different things like your SD card reader. Some of these are big and cumbersome and they're always slow. And then you have, like I have a big metal clam case for all of my SD cards. This 2-in-1, it just pushes them all together. Super useful. Thank you guys. No matter what you're shooting on, something like this is always going to be useful. Just like this video will also be useful if you actually are interested in talking to camera and getting better at it. Check it out and I'll see you in the next vid. Got none.